Thank you very much for thank you very much for providing me the opportunity to share my experience. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sabir Hussain. I belong from Bakr, Punjab province, Pakistan. I completed my Doctor of Veterinary Medicine from Sivas Jung 013 batch. Then afterwards, I did my master in Discipline of Epidemiology and Public Health from the main campus, University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Lahore, Pakistan. At the end of the third year, I started hunting different fully funded scholarships. So I applied in Europe and Hong Kong as well. So today I would like to share the Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme, and uh, later on what I will also discuss about the US research experience as well. So at the end of third year, as I discussed that I started hunting different research opportunities, and luckily I availed this Hong Kong PhD fellowship, Hong Kong scholarship. So I would like to first describe that what are the different types of Hong Kong scholarship for, especially for veterinary graduate students, and the scholarship amount. And then I will also discuss the total scholarship amount, living expenditure, accommodation expenditure, what's the visa procedure, documents attestation procedure, and the last deadline for application submission, and what's the application procedure. So guys, please listen very carefully, and I would like to share that it's good news that Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme is right now open, and the last deadline for applications submission is 1 December 2023. So after 3 to 4 months, the scholarship, still you have 3 to 4 months, so you can complete all those requirements that I will discuss. You can meanwhile, at the end I will answer each and every questions whatever the audience has. So let's discuss first about the Hong Kong scholarships. So basically there are basically 3 to 4 types of Hong Kong scholarship. The first one is Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme. Let me share my screen as well. And the second one is basically as University Grant Council. We also called as Postgraduate Council. There's also a UGC scholarship. And the third one is a non-UGC. That's basically university other than scholarship funding, professor funding. And the fourth one is CTU Cornell scheme. So these are basically 4 scholarships. The first one is Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme. Second one is University Grant Council. It means it's a university scholarship. And the third one is non-UGC. It's totally professor funding. And the fourth one is City U Cornell scheme. So it is between the City University of Hong Kong and the Cornell top university in USA as well. So these are the basically 4 scholarship in Hong Kong. And the basically what are the universities that basically fall in this? There are basically 8 universities. The first one is City University of Hong Kong. Second one is Hong Kong Baptist University. Third one, Lignan University, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, University of Hong Kong. So these are basically 8 universities that fall in under this Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme, and all those 4 scholarship. Everyone either they are applying for Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme or the rest 3 scholarship, they must have to submit their application in the same way. They need to submit their application on this portal, Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme portal. So I will discuss later on that what's the basically application procedure. So the major thing is most of the audience want to know that what's the basically scholarship amount. So that's a very prestigious scholarship. If we talk about the basic amount of this scholarship, so here you can see the amount of this scholarship is uh, uh, in terms of Hong Kong, it's around 3,31,200 Hong Kong, and in terms of USD, it's 42,460 USD per year. So if you convert into per month, it will be around 3,500 USD per month. So that's a very big amount. If we convert into Pakistan, it will be around roundabout. It will be around 8 lakh. So it's a very prestigious scholarship. So along with that, there are some other fringe benefits, as you can see, some travel allowance and the research conferences. So it's a very prestigious. So not only you can, and the Hong Kong universities ranking is among the top 100 universities QS ranking all over the world. So that's also a plus point as well. So, and the this is the basically amount that mentioned here is the Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme, and the rest other three one, that is basically UGC, that is the university funding, or non-UGC professor funding, or CTU cornell scheme. These are the scholarship amount a bit less, and it's equal to 18,500 per month. And if you convert into USD, it will be around 2,500 USD per month. So that's also more than enough. And still, if you convert into Pakistani, it will be around 6 to 7 lakhs. So that's a handsome amount. So yeah, but you need to keep in mind that Hong Kong is a very expensive country in the world, around the top 10 expense. That's why they are offering a handsome amount. But in terms of every person has its own living expenses, it can varies. But according to my perspective and cumulative, I discussed with my colleagues as well, the living expenditure, like as they are offering 27,500 in case of 27,500 Hong Kong dollar, or 3,500 USD per month. So the accommodation expenditure is around maximum 1,000 USD. Or in terms of, if we convert into Hong Kong, it will be around 800. So it's 400 living expenditure and 300 for your meal and rest. So 800 if you are only expending 800, the rest all you are saving. So that's more than enough. And the other thing is basically, what is the basic we for example, if what's the application procedure? The application procedure is, you just need to, this is the basically portal, Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme portal. Here I will explain in a brief detail, because step by step application procedure, I have made a YouTube video where you can see all those detail. My YouTube channel name is Dr. Sabir. So you can see everything in detail, that what's the step by step application procedure. But here I would like to discuss the basic. This is the, you can just write the Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme, like here, Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme for 2024-25 round. Here you can see. So just click on the first one, and this application is, portal is open, and the eligibility university ranking is open. So the what you need to do, you just need to click on the application procedure. Here you will click on the application procedure, and there are basically two steps, major step. The first one is, you need to submit your application in Research Grant Council. And whenever you will submit your research application on the Research Grant Council, they will allocate you Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme electronic number. So first you need to submit here initially application on this portal, and then afterward the second step is, you need to submit your application to your proposed universities. Either it depends on, like in case of veterinary, the basic two major universities. One is the City University of Hong Kong, and other one is Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, or the University of Hong Kong. These three universities, especially for veterinaries, and rest all these are for other, like BS microbiology, zoology, biotechnology. They are the other universities, if they wanna. Some of them maybe in that belongs to other department as well. But what you need to do, you just need, in case of City University of Hong Kong, the major department is, one is the Department of Infectious Diseases and Public Health, the second one is Veterinary Clinical Sciences, and the third one is neurological sciences. So these are the basically three departments in City University of Hong Kong. I am basically in Department of Infectious Diseases and Public Health. And the second one, in case of University of Hong Kong, they're basically microbiology department, immunology department. So in case of City University of Hong Kong, you can find in Department of Infectious Diseases and Public Health all the either they some of them maybe belong from the nutrition, some of them maybe want to pursue in clinical sciences. So you can find all those professors in that department as well. But in case if you belong from the clinical department, because most of the students think that clinical science scholarship are less, so in that case you can also find the clinical research in clinical science department in City University of Hong Kong. So that was basically application procedure and accommodation. So, and the second, yeah, application last deadline is 1 December 2023. And then the most common question is acceptance letter required or not. This quite, in case of, it can varies. In some cases, if you already have contacted some of the potential professors in case of master or PhD, then they can first conduct your interview, Zoom interview individually. And then afterwards, they will give you a permission that whenever you are submitting your application, you can write their name and email. As a result, whenever you will submit your application successfully, an electronic link will be generated, and then that electronic link will automatically the professor will open, and then he will give remarks on the basis of what he conducted interview previously. And then later on, the graduate school will conduct a panel interview, and in that panel interview, that potential supervisor and three to four other professors will also be present, and then they will conduct a panel interview, and then there will be a final decision. That's in that case if you already contacted professor. The second case is if you did not get a chance, or professor are not replying you back positively, then still you can submit your application, because the acceptance letter in that case is optional. It's not mandatory. Even if you are submitting online application, you can just leave the box blank and you can proceed forward. So this is not mandatory. So this is not, you don't need to worry in case if the professor are not replying you back. But one thing that you need to keep in your mind, that you need to make your research proposal in such a way, like for example, if you are if your research is on the infectious diseases, especially on which bacteriology or virology, then you need to search those professors that are already working in that department, so that if you make a research proposal in that domain, then whenever you will submit your application, the graduate school will forward your research proposal to that on the basis of your research proposal what you have done. And then if your research proposal is good enough, then professor will basically conduct your interview, and then they will make a panel interview, and then there will be a similar procedure. So you don't need to worry, but it's better, I would suggest that if you can contact potential supervisor earlier, it would be great. But in case, I know many of the colleagues from other countries, they did not contact any professors, but they submitted their research, online application in such a way that they make a very good effective research proposal after searching the professors that they are already working in this domain. So in this way, you have a good scenario as well to build a story, and then professor will conduct interview. So that was the first case, that what is the scenario regarding acceptance letter. So in both cases, it can work. Then afterwards, yeah, like whenever you are submitting your application, there is basically fee as well. Whenever you will submit your application, you need to pay around 400 HKD. That's around 8 to 9,000. That's a very small amount. Like if you are getting a big amount, you need to take risk in case like you need to sacrifice this 8 to 9,000 in case if you are really interested to submit your application. So, and then afterwards, whenever you will submit your application, like the last deadline is 1st December 2023, then what they will do, basically they will evaluate your on the basis of, and then panel will give the remarks, and then there will be another scrutiny committee. So, and the other question is, IELTS is mandatory or not? Yeah. In that case, like, of course, if you have if you have an IELTS score, it will be another plus point for you, because here you can see the eligibility criteria is academic excellence. Academic excellence means if you have a good IELTS score, minimum 6.5, or like TOEFL, the minimum score is 79. That's clearly explain that you have academic excellence and you have a good academic record as well. If you have a good CGP and good academic record as well, that's a plus point. And then research ability and potential means if you have a publications, or if in that case, like if you are in case if you are pursuing for master and you don't have the publication, like in Pakistan scenario it's very difficult, then at least collaborate some of your graduates who are already working in your department, so that you can at least you have one conference abstract, or at least, but for the PhD at least you have one as a co-author or first author publication, that will be a plus point for you. And the third one is communication and interpersonal skills. Like if you have IELTS and good score, that will clearly explain. And leadership abilities, like if you have done some extracurricular activities in your graduation, that will be counted as a plus point as well. So whatever you will do, like maximum, for example, if you did any internship, for example, for 1 month, even for 6 days, you don't need to forget, you must need to mention in your CV as well, so that it will be invaluable addition whenever they were scrutinizing your whole application. So that's all. And then basically accommodation, living expenditure, we already mentioned that. So let's discuss about the visa procedure. So whenever you will submit your online application, and afterwards if you are successfully selected, then they will the responsible office for Hong Kong is Global Engagement Office. They're the basically major responsible for visa sponsoring. So whenever you automatically university will send your application to the Global Engagement Office, and then Global Engagement Office will send you an email. You just need to submit your online application, nothing else. This very easy process for Hong Kong. So you just need to pay 600 HKD, that's around 2000. So you just need to upload all the documents, like you have the offer letter and the pay the online fee, and that's it. After around 5 to 6 weeks you will get the Hong Kong visa. So you don't need to worry about the visiting maybe consulate or embassy, or no, it's in that case it's very easy process and smooth process. Everything is totally online. So and rest all visa procedure last, yeah, that's all about, I think, from my side. If you still have any further questions from the audience, or if you want to know further, I would be very happy to discuss. But meanwhile, I have uploaded many videos on my YouTube channel, like in case many audience ask many questions, so you can follow and maybe you can get those answer as well. But I am very happy in that time as well, so that you can you know get a good chance in that scenario.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Saab, for sharing valuable information. I would like to know um, which programs or scholarships are specific for masters and which are specific for PhD and which are equally applicable on both. So we will talk about scholarship part, then we will move to documents like CV, cover
Yeah,
letter, like that part. So I want to clear these few
sure.
things.
The first one is basically master in public health. That's basically a scholarship in case of, like, because Hong Kong only majorly offer PhD scholarship. But for master, yeah. But one good thing is, if you have a good academic excellence and good score, then you can directly go for PhD. You don't need to wait for your master. That's also plus point as well.
Okay, so you mean like in USA we just go for PhD on the base of bachelor, so similar
Yes,
can Hong
yes,
Kong.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so and other thing, like if we approach supervisor for masters funding, so supervisor can support us or supervisor don't support for masters.
It usually depends on professor. Most of the professor have the funding, but like usually they would prefer to have a long-term candidate so that they can stay for 4 to 5 years. So they would prefer PhD candidate rather than. I would suggest you that if rather than mentioning the master, if you are interested, really you have to mention your PhD so that you can save your 2 year as well. And meanwhile, there will be a good chance for getting PhD as well.
Okay, so it means like the formal programs or official programs which are good for veterinarians offer PhD, and
Yeah.
unofficially we approach supervisors to give us option to enroll in his program in his
Ye-
department or in lab. Then we should go for PhD instead of masters.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, it will PhD has a lot of benefits. and some drawbacks. Benefits include more money, more guidance, more publication, more research work, and
Yeah.
drawback is big timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to ask more about visa. Like
Yeah.
in Canada or UK, even Germany, we need a lot of documents. We need a home. Need to show home ties, like we will come back. We need to show financial resources we can support ourselves when we will be studying in other country. So like there is a big application. It is not a quick like app. So what is about Hong Kong? How many documents?
In Hong Kong, you don't need to show any financial sources. You don't, because they already offered you a fully funded scholarship. So if you you just need to submit your online application by paying 600 HKD, and by just you need to upload your offer letter that you have received. Nothing else. If you, for example, if you have a zero balance, they will not bother about it. It's a very easy process. After 5 to 6 weeks, visa will be in your hand.
That's interesting and very easy procedure as
Yes.
compared to Canada and other countries.
Yeah,
And
I
what
know.
is
And yes,
visa
yeah. Yeah.
acceptance ratio?
Yeah, visa acceptance, there is not even for example, I think so, as per my, because I contacted many of my colleagues, I did not hear any rejection. So you can say 99% visa acceptance.
Okay. And what about future after PhD in Hong Kong? What are future opportunities regarding permanent residence, nationality, like that stuff? One thing and
Yeah,
other thing during PhD,
yes.
how many working hours are allowed to students to earn part-time jobs by part-time jobs?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because most of the audience would like to know about the PR. So Hong Kong basically, their basic if we spend 7 years consecutively in Hong Kong, then you can get the PR. You just need to submit your online application. Like you spend, for example, if you did your PhD for the 4 year, and then afterward there will be one visa after completing your PhD. That's called ING, or working visa. So that will be around 2 years. So you can easily like plan 1 year job. So in this way, you can complete 7 years and can get the PR. So it's a very easy process if you stay 7 years consecutively. But one more good thing is, like for example, in my case, I'm in USA, but still that duration will be counted. The thing is, because Hong Kong government officially permitted me to do my PhD research here. So that's also a plus point as well. Even though if you are not staying there, but taken your permission from, so you can grab this opportunity.
That's interesting. And during study, part-time jobs.
Yeah, yeah, because this is already a fully funded scholarship, so they will not let you, to do the part-time job outside university. But yes, you can do part-time job inside the university. Like any professors that are interested, you can do part-time job 16 hours per week inside
Like
the university.
like
Yeah.
in Canada, you can work 20 hours outside campus per week. So this is legally allowed. So
Yeah.
is there legal restriction or workload problem due to
Mm,
which you can't work
No,
outside?
this is the legal restriction that you cannot work outside. You must need to work. The legally permitted is you can work inside the university 16 hours per week, not more than that, and that is limited that you must have to do inside the university, not outside.
Okay, so this is a difference between
Yeah,
um, European or Western countries and Hong Kong.
yeah.
Okay.
As they are
Um,
already giving you 3,500, so I think so. You don't need to be worried about it.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Um, okay. So now I will stop this video recording and we will go for documentation things like CV, email, cover
yeah,
letter, reference letter, motivational letter, SOPs. These are a lot of stuff. We will not cover everyone, but we will cover minimum those which you have used in last few years.
yeah,
So any two, three, four will be good to see what how do you write things when you approach supervisors or professors. And
yeah.
after that, we will take questions from participants. You can raise your hand when I will ask request you, then I will unmute you and you can ask your question. or at that time you can comment in chat and I will ask on your behalf. So just after some time we will go for questions. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
The whenever you are